Hey guys, thanks for joining me once again on Wonder with Kim Kim. Last week I talked about how much I enjoy Twilight. So today I'm going to suggest some books that I think are much better reads than Twilight. So these books aren't going to change your life or anything, but if you just want to escape reality for a bit, I know I do, and have some fun with a little more well-developed characters, not like a whole ton more, but just a little bit, and have some action-packed scenes and get into some different magic systems. I think these are the books for you. First one that I would recommend is The Epic Crush of Genie by F.C. Yee. This one, like Twilight, has a beautiful man in it with golden eyes. I guess Edward's was liquid topaz, and so I don't know, whichever color preference you have. The main squeeze in this book is Asian, so that we finally get some Asian representation, Asian heartthrob men in our books. Finally. Secondly, not only is it Asian, but this guy, our main squeeze, is short. So he's a short Asian man, so we have double the representation. So shout out to all the short men out there. Hey Dad, and all the hobbits. I think it's action-packed, and there's also people wanting to eat our main girl, but it's not just a vampire, it's like all these demons who have escaped from hell. It's really fun. I laughed out loud several times. Like I said, there's not much character development, but at least our characters got goals other than falling in love, which there's nothing wrong with falling in love. I just want my main characters to have other things going for them. And this girl surely does. So next up is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. Please ignore the horrendous book cover, because what matters is what's inside, right? And what's inside, you will find what they call a paranormal YA fantasy. So there's some magic in it. There's a lot of witchy aunts in it who all live in the same house. So it's pretty charming and quirky and fun. And Maggie's writing style is just lovely. I just love it. And the coolest part about the magic system, it's not just sticking some vampires in high school. This one actually has a very well thought out magic system and includes King Arthur. And there's one boy in here that, I think it's that one. There's one boy in here who can pull things out of his dreams, like real life objects out of his dreams. I thought that was really cool and just pure fun to read. The next one is one of my favorite series, Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. This one is not a contemporary fantasy, so it's set in a fantastical kingdom based off of Russia. And so this was sort of named as, instead of steampunk fantasy, it's Tsar punk. And this one also has a beautiful boy. There's a theme here. But this boy has blue eyes, like the blue that burns in the center of a candle flame. So just depends on what color eyes you like. If you like blue one, I'd say pick this one up. And it's also easy to read, goes by really quickly, plenty of action, plenty of angst. And this one also has a love triangle, which I believe Twilight has a love triangle, but I didn't get that far. But this love triangle is with the villain of the series. I love me a good villain. And the villain has slate gray eyes. He's also hundreds of years old, but looks young, like our Edward Cullen. But I think he's just a more interesting character because he is greedy for power and control and wants vengeance. Just fills my Slytherin heart with joy. So yeah, Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. All of Leigh Bardugo's books are great. I just love her. I even went to her signing. And then I told her that I cried when I read the third book in the series. That was after I got over like my nerves of talking to her, which I don't know if I got over it. I was just like Bardugo, I love you. Yeah. Those are the young adult books that I would recommend. And if you must have vampires in your life, and I guess Halloween is coming up, so you might be in the mood for it, I recommend A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. This one is adult fantasy, and I'm only like halfway through, but I much more prefer this over Twilight. There's also a beautiful vampire in this one whose cheekbones can cut butter. The girl is a very special snowflake, but she has goals other than falling in love, and she's doing research at Oxford University. And this author, her talent, I think, lies in descriptions, and the descriptions of the places just make you feel like you're there. But it does have some extraneous descriptions of wine, but it makes sense because the author apparently is the writer of an award-winning wine blog. So I guess if you're into wine, this is also the book for you. Wine and vampires, why not? So this one fit my tastes much better. I mean, I'm still not into vampires, but this one is more fun because the girl's actually a witch, and they get into like alchemical history and a little bit of biology and talking about the origin of species, and so it definitely piqued my interest a lot more. When I finish it, I'll let you know what I think. Those are my recommendations for books that are on a similar level as Twilight, I think. But I found much more entertaining and much more creative. The fun fact for today, since we're talking about all these pretty boys, did you know that humans are the only animals that blush? Charles Darwin called blushing the most peculiar and most human of all expressions, while Mark Twain said man is the only animal that blushes or needs to. So blushing is caused by the dilation of blood vessels in the facial skin at times of embarrassment, but it's very rare in the animal kingdom. As far as we know, there's no other animals that blush or have facial skin exposed to the scrutiny of others. Though I guess bald Wakari monkeys deploy their bright red faces as signals of physiological health. So females will choose their mates based on how red the male's face is, It's all about the color preferences, guys. And embarrassment is a highly complex emotion that requires knowing what others are thinking about you, which is sort of beyond the understanding of most animal species. As far as we know, no other animal species feel embarrassment. Yeah, that's the fun fact for today. Hope you guys are having a great week. Tell me about it. And if you've read some of these books, let's talk about it. That's all for today. And keep wondering.